Hello everybody, Steffi here from The Makers, and it's this time again of the week where we are going to craft together, and we're making a needle felted trug. I will show you also how to make some of the juicy carrots in there, and maybe some roots, some radishes and some beetroot, whatever takes your fancy. But the this is what we're making, like a little handled bucket basically, that could hold all kinds of treasures in there, not just food, but you could use it as a maybe you could use it as a plant pot. It would probably work quite well sort of as a miniature decoration for other things that you might have around the house and garden. So I'm looking forward to showing you how to do this. And of course, we have got a house full of people watching, and you can win yourself a prize today on the 25th of May 2020. If you're watching this live, you'll be in with a chance to win one of our starfish kits. This is one of our small kit range, and it makes 2 starfish. And there is a question that you need to answer. Now today, this week, Emma is on holiday, so she hasn't made me a really nice fancy thumbnail to put on here, so I had to make my own. And I apologize now, because it's nothing as nice as what Emma does. But the prize today is the starfish, and what you have to do is this. Tell us something to make us laugh. I need a laugh. I definitely need a laugh. If you need a laugh, then you can jump on the back of all the laughs that I'm gonna get. But yeah, tell us something to make us laugh. This could be I don't know, a joke. It could be anything. I'm ready for anything. Just anything that gives me a bit of a tickles my tummy, so I can have a little chuckle. Of course, you can only win during our live streams on YouTube the 25th today, and then we're restreaming this on the 27th of May. So that's what you need to do today. Leave a comment, and the same on Thursday or at 7 p.m. on Facebook. Leave a comment, and then we will pick a random winner. I've got Alicia here today to support me, so she will be picking the winner when I start making the vegetables to go into the truck. But first of all, we are starting with a truck, and I'm going to have a little read what's going on here. So we've got quite a few people watching. I'm just going to say hello to some of you. Hello, Sandra, Diane. Rachel is there with Daniel again. Marion, Patricia, Ashley, Vampire Venom is there. Gina is there. Rosie. Oh, Rosie is new. Hi, Rosie. Hope you like what's happening here today. It could potentially go hideously wrong, which has happened before, but it probably will be just fine. If nothing else, at least you can laugh at me. Jan is there, and of course Alicia, like I said. Catherine is there, and Donna, Michael, Meg, Diana is here, Eva is here, Erica is here. We're getting the international crowd now. Denise, and I think that the rest are repetitions. If I've missed any of you, Amanda is there, and Carol is there, and if I missed anybody, Serena is there, and Dawn. If I've missed any of you, it was completely unintentional. Remember to give us the thumbs up on this live stream. If you are not a subscriber yet, go and subscribe. If you know anybody who might be interested in subscribing, tell them to subscribe to our channel. Then you get notifications when new stuff's coming up. And yes, you usually get me. And next week, I will say already, we've got the unwrapping of the subscription boxes for June. Now, somebody please tell me, how did we get to June and not have got a single bit of summer this year in the UK, I may add. I think it's the same all around Europe, but I cannot believe that it is exactly 1 month away from midsummer. Midsummer? What do you mean midsummer? We haven't even had the other half of summer, never mind heading towards midsummer. So something needs to change dramatically before I even entertain the thought of midsummer. But anyway, let's have a quick look what you need today to make the truck. You need a extra strong pipe cleaner. These are our when I say extra strong, they're not unbreakable. They do break if you bend them lots, but what makes them strong is that they're quite they're not floppy, non-floppy pipe cleaner. Maybe that's what we should call them. If you have sort of cheaper craft pipe cleaners, when you put something on there, they're sort of like just flop and bend down. These are proper pipe cleaners with a cotton cover on it. You will need, I think it's 7 grams of the Honey Karakul, which is an extremely coarse fiber. It's natural color. I love it and I hate it at the same time. It does this one does sometimes irritate my skin. It is such a, I mean, I would hate to wear it, but I can cope with it in a Trug. Very coarse but really lovely, perfect texture to make the sort of the outer of a Trug. And that's basically all you need for the Trug. And then I've just picked up some random colors here for the carrots and the root vegetables, but I'll talk about this a little bit more later on. You need a single felting needle. However, if you have got multi-tool needles, such as the either the Clover 3-needle tool or just our ordinary blue unbranded 3-needle felting tool, then you're definitely in for a treat. And if you've got the Clover 5-needle felting tool, that works really well as well. You can have the 7-needle felting tool, preferably with a brush mat. It works best on there. It does work on the earth mat, but it works better on a brush mat. So that's an optional tool as well. You don't need any of these. It does work without it, but if you've got them handy, then you might as well use them. So I'm going to go onto overhead camera. I am under strict instructions to follow the instructions, which you can find at our website under the free tutorial section. And the way that I found it is just go onto our website, type in Trug, T-R-U-G, and it comes up with the instructions straight away. So that's the easiest and quickest way to do it. Right, let's have a look what we need to do. So first of all, we need to wrap this pipe cleaner with the wool, because that forms the top part and the handles of the Trug. Here you can see it a bit better. That's basically what it looks like. I really love this. I keep thinking, what else can you put in there? Imagine you make little things like jewelry or pendants, or you make little decorations that you want to wrap up in a special way. You can just put them in there and hide them with a little bit of wool. I think that's really, really nice, sort of little nice contained bucket there. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to wrap the pipe cleaner with wool. For this, you need to tear off some wool and you have to tease it out. It's a really good start to have the wool nice and teased out, so that these are in general the direction that the fiber goes. This is a wool bat, but you can still find the direction of the fiber. I'm going to take the mat away because you can probably see better against the pink background here. And then you are going to wrap the wool. What I do is I hold the wool wispy ends of the wool with my right hand, and then I'm going to give it a start by wrapping the wool around it flat like a ribbon. And what you notice is that I work really close to the pipe cleaner, so I'm not holding on somewhere here, because if you pull, then you just sever the wool. So I work really close to the pipe cleaner, and then I'll keep wrapping it, and you need to leave sort of about 1/2 centimeter exposed here at the end. And so I'm just going to double check that I've given you the right information, because it might be more or less. And yes, 1/2 centimeter, I've remembered correctly. Right. And then you can also, instead of just wrapping round like this now, you can actually turn the whole work round. So I'm still holding the pipe cleaner in my right hand and I've still got the wool in my left, but it's now upside down, if you like. And then you could use the pipe cleaner and twist it. So you twist the pipe cleaner and let the wool wrap around it. And with the cover of the pipe cleaner that will sort of grip into the wool, you shouldn't have to needle felt this down at all. You just make it nice and solid by keeping the tension high and letting the wool grip into the pipe cleaner cover. Occasionally you might have to tease it out if it gets too thick, the cover, and let it grip itself into the pipe cleaner, going all the way around. You might find a little bit of straw in this wool. That's called vegetable matter, or some people refer to it as VM. And that is entirely normal. It just goes to show that this is definitely from sheep happily running around in fields. So I've actually run out of wool now. So I just let the wool let it finish. Now the important thing is you're going to turn your pipe cleaner round again, because you're going to continue wrapping where you've ended, but you want to do this in the same direction. So I find it easier to turn the pipe cleaner round again and start like I did before. So start here again, and now what you do know is you're still going in the same direction as this wool has been wrapped, and you're not going to unwrap, so you're not going in the opposite direction. If you get to a thinner part like I have here, just continue wrapping it around the same place on the pipe cleaner, and then just keep going forward. I know I'm doing this super fast. I have done hundreds of these pipe cleaners. I've wrapped hundreds of them, but you will get faster at it yourself as well. If you've got too much wool at the end, just tear it off. Remember, you need to also leave about half a centimeter of wool at this end. I'm actually just going to get rid of the rest of the wool. I've still got bits here. I'm going back over it again. So you should have a quite a neat cover. It's certainly not coming loose. If you've got bits that are coming loose, then you can needle felt them down. So take your felting needle. I've actually bent my felting needle a minute ago. It's very annoying. And then what you need to do is you need to stab into your into the wool, but you have to do it in such a way that you're not hitting straight onto the wire. So you could do it just going past the pipe cleaner next to it with very shallow little stabs, because you don't want to make it fluffy by stabbing the wool all the way through. You can also do it by going along the pipe cleaner that way, though if your wool is tightly wrapped, that might be a bit. Mind you, you wouldn't need to needle felt if it's tightly wrapped. So that's just two ways of how you could adjust the wool on there, or you could unwind it and do it again. I'm just going to show you this here. That is what my wrapped pipe cleaner looks like now. So it's pretty boring looking, I suppose, but it's the beginning of the track. Right, I'm going to have a look at what is funny to read now, because I really need a laugh. Okay. Oh, Sandra says summer is meant to be loading from Thursday. Well, that'd be good. Oh, yes, you want to talk about the ponies. Yes, of course. So the ponies are, you haven't seen them for real yet, have you? So the pony box is what we're unwrapping. It's our makers box for June. These are modeled on Dartmoor ponies. You can make a different pony if you want to. I've just written the instructions so you know that the Dartmoor ponies have got quite dainty little hooves. They've got sort of the slightly pigeon-toed feet, and the legs, the knees are knocking together. It's just what they're like. They're quite soft in their cover, especially in winter or when they're little fillies. They have almost like a teddy bear cover, really sweet. And of course they come in all different colors. So this one is sort of a mix of white and brown. In the box you get enough wool to make one pony, but you can make it whichever color choice you want. So you will have lots of wool left. So this one here hasn't got any of the dark brown in it, but there will be dark brown in the box in case you want to make a dark brown one. Maybe you want to make a mix. So you will have lots of wool left, but it won't make two ponies because you only get enough wire and core wool, favorite core wool, lanolin rich, to make one pony. But you will have wool left that is meant to go on as a cover, including the tops for the mane, because you're probably not going to pile all of it on one pony. It'll be like quite an enormous pony, and they're quite sturdy already, even though they've got quite dainty feet. So that is basically who we're making the truck for, right? So that they can have some juicy vegetables, or maybe you give them horsey food, whatever. I've forgotten what it's called now. But of course, as you know, we've got Dartmoor ponies here on our on the estate where we live, and I went to see them earlier, and it was really funny because I took some photos. I don't know if you saw some photos I posted earlier on social media. I put the vegetables in the truck and I put it down on the ground and the ponies down. The next thing I saw was it had picked up the whole truck with the vegetables in and put it in its mouth. This is the real pony, and I had to drop everything to rescue my truck and the vegetables. So obviously they do like these vegetables. They were very interested, but they're by nature quite curious, the Dartmoor ponies. So Anyway, oh, let's see what else is there. Patricia says, I asked Alexa this morning to play a song to cheer me up, and she played I've Been Watching You by Creepy. Oh, I like that. Vampire Venom. Story from my dad. When I was 6 months, he rocked me to sleep, crept upstairs, put me in my cot, crept to the door of my room, turned to look lovingly at me, and I sat up and laughed. Yeah, got you there, Dad. You thought I was asleep. Oh, Serena says, something to make you laugh. I went to view a house this morning and went to open the door, missed the handle and walked straight into it in front of the landlord. Oh no, I hope you I hope you didn't hurt yourself. Oh bless. What fish comes out at night? A starfish, of course. And says Catherine, who shares that name anyway. Oh, I share that name. Did you know that? You probably don't know that. But my first name is Steffi, so the initial is S, and then I've got two middle names, and they're both starting with E, and I won't tell you what they are because they're absolutely hideous. Sorry, grandmothers. And then my surname is Stern, which is the German word for star, I should just say. But if you just read the three initials, so it's S-E-E, and then my surname Stern, Seestern, is the German word for starfish. You didn't know that, did you? There you go. What does a clock do when it's hungry? Goes back 4 seconds. Yes, it goes back for seconds. Oh, I love it. When Steffi talks about teasing the wool, Chaka Demos starts immediately singing in my head, tease me. Oh. I tell you something, you talk about Alexa, I talk about Siri on my iPhone. I mean, he does creep me out as well. Because often when I say, hey Siri, he says, yes, how can I help you? And then if you ask lots and lots, he says, mm-hmm. Or he says, uh-huh, mm-hmm, sometimes. And I just always feel like, hey, you're way too familiar with me. I don't even know you. Come on, don't talk to me like that. It does make me giggle, but it's probably just it's probably just me. Probably other people don't find that funny at all. And Vampire Venom says, oh, and I learned from my granddad to stick 2 fingers up behind my back about that time as well. Was before I could talk. Oh, bless. I wonder who told you that. Oh, your granddad told you that. Oh, Jane is just back from the dentist. Tell us his name, his address, and where we can get an appointment. Yeah, we'll all be going there tomorrow. I do that more times than I dare to admit, but I put the wash on Friday and forgot to even put the clothes in. I normally put the clothes in and forget to put it on. Maybe we should do our washing together. Oh, and Karen has just turned up. Patricia has got another story. My granddad was feeding me bacon and raw onion soldiers when I was barely able to stand. My God. Needless to say, it was part of my diet ever since. Oh my goodness, raw onion soldiers. I don't even know what that is. I know what soldiers are. Like, isn't that egg soldiers with toast? But I have no idea what's raw onion. That doesn't sound like baby food. Oh dear. Catherine says, when I was little, I tried to count all the pebbles on Chesil Beach, a beach covered in pebbles, not sand. My parents still laugh about this. Oh. Alicia says she tried to put her washing in the oven one day. Well, we've put all kinds of things in the fridge, like car keys. My husband once lost the car keys, and he looked everywhere, and then no, it wasn't the car keys, it was his wallet actually. And he rang the bank and they said, have you looked everywhere? The most common place people mislay their card in is something like the fridge. And he said, oh, I haven't looked there. And there it was. So the bank know there's lots of idiots out there doing exactly the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna crack on with the truck, and I'll read a little bit more later on. So we've made the handle now. Now we're gonna have to join these two ends together, and they need to be joined well. So do give them a good twist with your fingers and sort of hook them into each other, that they are sturdy. So if you can pull them without them coming apart, that's a really good thing. Now I haven't said this on the instructions, but you could. This is just an extra that's occurred to me. You could just cover this part with wool. It's not for looking nice. It's just to make it a little bit stronger, because this will be covered anyway later. So you could just cover that join with a bit of extra wool, but that's not in the instructions. That's just something extra that I've just made up. So There you go. So now you've got a complete ring. Now remember where that join is, because that is not going to be part of the handle. So you're going to make handles now. And the way that I have done it, you just bend your pipe cleaner loop in so that you've got two bendy bits here, and they're going to be the handles, and then you just bend them up like that. So now you've got a contraption that looks a little bit like this. So, and now you've got to make this bit round again. And in the instructions, it says that the diameter should be about 7 centimeters. So do measure it. I'm just going to tape measure here. Mine is a little bit bigger. So to make the circle smaller, you just make the handles taller. Ooh, that even rhymes. Some poetic needle felting today. So now you have got a set of handles here. You've basically got the top of the truck there, and you're going to put that to one side. And now you're going to make the base of the truck. And for this, you need a patch of wool about that big. And you're going to needle felt a circle onto there. That's about 7 centimeters in diameter. And for this, definitely use a coarse needle to start out. So you could make a round here. If you have got a ruler or tape measure, do measure it. But if not, it doesn't matter so much right now, because if it's too big, it's better if it's too big, because you can make it smaller. So go on the generous side if you haven't got a tape measure. So you've made a round circle there. Now you're going to fold everything that's on the outside of that circle inside and felt it down. What you do have to remember is that if you're felting anything flat on a felting mat, whatever that felting mat is, you're going to have to lift it off pretty soon, because it gets felted onto it. So don't felt this down yet too much, just get the shape going. So when you've done that, then peel it off your mat. And now you're going to work this piece of felt that you've made from both sides. And for this is when the multi-tools come in handy. This will speed up your work. So if you have the 5-needle clover tool, this will speed up your work. But if you haven't got it, just use the single needle to work this, or you can use your 3-needle felting tool and work this on both sides. So you want this to be a nice solid base. And then definitely measure it. So I'm going to measure this now. This is actually exactly 7 centimeters. How good is that? And then you can sort of even it out at the edges a bit. It's not really that important, but you can. It's most of it you won't see it later on at all, but you can. Another tip is, if you don't have multi-needle tools, you can actually double up needles. So just use 2. Hold them in your hand if you can. I usually sort of line them up like that, and that definitely speeds your work up a lot. Sometimes if you're using coarse needles, you might not be able to speed your work up. With 2 coarse needles, you might have to then use 2 medium needles, and that will definitely work faster. So that's quite a flat piece. It's worked really fast. This wool, the one thing about this wool is it might be really, really itchy and not very nice, not very soft, not like some of the wools that we do, but it felt so fast. It's actually amazing, really lovely to if you want something done quickly. So I've got my base of the truck now, so that eventually will be underneath here like that. And now I'm going to put both of that to one side, and I'm doing the truck sides. And for this you need some of your wool, and if you tear sort of a good, so I always think my hand is often a good guidance if it fits in your hand. And now you've got to tease it out a little bit with your fingers so that it's roughly 25 centimeters long, like that, and roughly 6 centimeters wide. So just tease it out with your fingers for the time being. And now you're going to felt this down. And again, if you've got a multi-tool, use your multi-tool. So we're making another piece of felt, another piece of handmade flat felt. Felt it down, and the same as before, you do need to lift it off your mat as well. So what I just need to read this now. Felt flat on your mat. Felt strip flat as before, but leave the sides and ends wispy. That's right. So this time we're not bending the sides in to make a neat flat piece. We're actually just felting it down, but we're leaving the ends soft and wispy, because they will need to wrap themselves around the the base and the top of the truck, so that's why they are kept wispy. So don't worry too much if it's not exactly that size, but do make sure that it's about 25 centimeters long. I think that will definitely help the whole thing. And felt that down from both sides. If you've got a weak patch, just add a bit more wool over the top. Now is the time to do it. It's easier to do it now than later. So just add a bit over the top, felt it down, and then nobody knows that you've even put that there. Just sort of melts into the wool entirely. So keep doing that. If you've got a single needle, this will take a lot longer. Try doubling up your needles. You just have to be quite persistent here. If you've got a 7 needle felting tool, then you can use that too, with a brush mat. Show you that too. Lay it down and stab away. Again, you will have to lift this off fairly regularly because the fibers get pushed through to the other side and they sink into the brush. There we go. And do that from both sides as well. So this is getting a lot of stabbing done with all kinds of different methods. And once it's a nice solid piece, it won't be as solid as the base because it's not as thick. Then we can put it all together, and that will be like that. So you've got, actually, I'll let you catch up with this in case you're felting along. So I'll let you do the sides whilst I will go and have another quick look at what's happening here. So Gina says, once I lost a bag of clothes pegs and found them in the freezer. Thing is, I put the ice cream in the cupboard and didn't find it for a few days. At least you didn't hang your clothes up with ice cream. That would have been funny. You could have been licking your fingers while you're putting clothes up. Oh dear. Oh, well, it's working. You're cheering me up. Thanks, everybody. Ava says, yesterday I spent hours looking for my cat, and guess where I found him? In my wool box, under the wool sleeping, so sweet, good and warm. So don't forget to put lid on the box. Oh, yes. Well, don't put the lid on when the cat's already in there. Put it on so that the cat doesn't go in there. I think that's what Eva means. Pamela says, sneaking in, good morning, sun's not up yet. Oh, well, this is a long way over in Oregon where Pamela is ringing from. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. Oh, Lorna says, what's the cat's favorite color? A purple. Of course. I don't want to miss any of these, so I think I might. But anyway. Oh, I will tell you a funny story about my children when they were little, as we've been talking about little children. So when my first two, they're really close together. It's just a year between them, and I think they must have been maybe 2 and 3. And the youngest one, my little girl, she came to me and was talking to me, and I said, "Oh, don't talk to me. I've got such a headache. I've got such a stinking headache." And so she's like, "Okay, Mom." And she ran off to her brother and she said, "Don't talk to Mom. She's got a smelly head." Which I thought still tickles me. It's so funny. Anyway, there you go. If you needed cheering up, hopefully I've achieved that now. So I've got my 3 parts here. As you know, we've done the handles with the pipe cleaner. We've done the base, just felting it flat into a circle, and we've got the sides of it, which are not as solid as the base, but that's fine. And now we've got to put it all together. But before that, I will just give you a quick sneak scheduling what's happening next week. So next week, as I said, Tuesday is the sub boxes unwrapped. We now have a Facebook group exclusive for the surprise box, which is the spoiler surprise box group. So if you do like surprises, do not join that group. But if you want to know what's in the surprise box from the very beginning, then do join the group. We ask you not to share the knowledge that you gain by being in the group. So please do answer the questions and agree to the rules, just so that other people can keep it as a surprise if they want to. And of course, we've got the Dartmoor Pony. It makes one pony, but you can make a different colorway from what you're seeing right now. And then we've got the Water Fairy, which is yeah, it's just lovely and elusive and liquid and fluid. It's a nice one. We've also got coming up on the week after that, on the 8th of July, which is making a dragonfly. We're using Angelina fiber to do this, the heat bondable Angelina fiber. It's a very simple project, but very effective. And the week after that, we have got the on the 15th of June, we've got the Bees and Hive. Now, this is you can use our bees wool mix for this. There's 140 grams of wool in there, and this whole contraption that you can see on the screen right now, the hive and the bees, weighs just over 30 grams. So you can imagine you can make quite a few of those out of 140 grams. The instructions for the bees will be in the bag as well, but I will also be making those live on YouTube and then repeated on Facebook. And the hive is one that will only be shown on during the live stream. And then for the rest of the month, to take us to the end of June, we have 2 live streams. So it's a 2-part make along, and that is the peacock butterfly. And of course, you can get a kit to go with that. So that will make 2 butterflies, so you can make one along with us and then maybe make another one another time. And they are really lovely. They're as big as the butterflies that I have shown. It's actually bigger than the small tortoiseshell. I haven't got the butterfly here, but I've got the kit here, and the kit looks like this. So the butterflies are big. They're that big. So it's a nice project, hence over 2 sessions, because it's all about detail. It's all about taking time and care, not like this. It's way if you're detailed and you like to take a bit of time, then this is the right one for you. This one is quick and practical and cobbled together. Right, let's have a look at what we're doing next. So now you need this sort of potentially could be quite fiddly, but what you need to do is you need to wrap this whole part of the wool around the pipe cleaner. So it's probably best if you keep it flat on your mat and just pull the wispy sides over. Have your felting needle at the ready, and then just stab it into itself again, but you're trapping the top of that of the handle top part in by stabbing it into the wool. You also need to take that off, so that's now, and you can stab really close to the pipe cleaner so that you felt the wool that you've wrapped around the pipe cleaner down as well. That gives it extra stability, and then you have to work your way all the way around. Now, of course, there's a part of it where it's a handle. So that part of the handle we're obviously ignoring. We can't wrap this wool around the handle because we want that to stay separate. So you have to skip that part. So you're going to go past it there, and then you're going onto the other side and felting that down as well. So just ignore the bit that's hanging off at the moment. Just get the sides fastened in. And hopefully it's big enough to go all the way around. Yes. So you're ignoring the part, you can't felt the part down onto the handle that you have to, you've got there going past the handle. Just let that go past it. And then when you get, and it meets again here, and felt that down, you can also do this from the outside, but you will be stabbing into nothingness and your fingers will be underneath. So be careful when you do that. You can tidy all of this up a little bit by just stabbing in. Now it's inside the trug because you're attaching that wall. If the piece is a little short, then don't worry about it like mine. Look, I've got a gap here. I'm just going to put something else on there now because you can. So Just patch it up. Yours might be too long, which is better, but if it's too short, don't worry about it. Just add a bit. I'm felting it around the top first, and you will be doing a little bit of stabbing all around that edge now anyway, so you can stab that extra wool and felt that down as you're patching up a gap here. If you've got a gap, you might not have a gap. I clearly didn't make mine long enough. So now we've got a trug that's open at the bottom, like that. And we need to put the base into it now. These bits here that we've gone round the handles, we're going to felt these down later on a little bit more. This will be refined, but for now it just is absolutely right. And now you've got to push the base in from the top so that it's a snug fit. You want the sides to come slightly up until you can see it here at the bottom. And now you're going to pull the wool down over the base. Give it a couple of stabs just so that the wool stays in place. Don't push the base back up. And now what you're going to do is you're turning the whole thing round, because now you're going to felt it from the inside to catch these fibers that are really loose and wispy. And you can definitely use a single needle to do that. But if you do have a multi-tool, if nothing else, you have got a longer handle, or if you have a handle on your single needle, then that will help too. So you're now felting the base down by felting into these wispy fibers that you've turned up. But that's not going to do it all yet. You're going to have to now work all the way around the trug to secure it, and to maybe add a few pieces to where it looks a little less stable. The main thing that I will say to you is don't stab your finger, because you're holding onto it and you will be stabbing into air, basically, and that is just now a consistent stabbing around that shape to firm it up and to shape it. So if there's bits, if there's a corner sticking up, just stab into it. I'm still using my coarse needle. At some point you might go down to your medium needle, but that's all I'm doing now, is I'm just literally stabbing into nothingness, trying to gauge that my finger is not in the way. So keep your finger out of the way as you're stabbing, and keep going round. If you have a thin patch, then add a little bit of wool. It will just get felted down as with the rest. You can, of course, alternate from inside to outside. The only thing is that you do have to keep lifting it off the mat gently whilst it's still quite, ow, that was my finger. Whilst it's still loose. So I'm working the whole trug now. What I've felted before, I'm felting it down even more, and I'm joining it all together so that it becomes nice and solid and more shapely. It might even sort of shrink in the size a little bit. Now I know I've got quite a thin patch here. When I look through it, I can see it's thin, but it doesn't look thin from the outside. So you could make it stronger by adding a bit more wool over it, or if it doesn't bother you, then just leave it. And all you need to do now is, and this sort of might take a little time, is to firm it up by stabbing it all over. Whenever you've been to one place, you need to probably revisit it again, because that's the nature of needle felting, is that if you change something at one side, the other side will need changing too. And when you look at these wispy ends here that you've pulled across where the handle is, you can fold them in a bit and also stab them, so you make them more solid there as well, and it looks a little neater. But a lot of it is stabbing into air, which might be a new technique you've never done before. If you've got a handle like mine that's a little bit bigger, because the wool was maybe a bit thinner there, you can also make that bigger. So lay a bit of wool so it comes round the inside of that handle and felt it down. So you're working with a hollow 3D shape which is something that none of you might have done before. It's not dissimilar from when you make the gnomes, where you have to work with a hollow hat on a gnome. So it is a bit of a different technique. It's still the same thing that you're stabbing the needle, but you're doing it in a, because you haven't got the resistance at the other end. So you need to work out how you can felt this down without having the solidity of the wool as you would normally have it. And that yeah, that's sort of that's, I can felt this a lot more, which I probably should, but you can of course do yours a lot more as well, and it will take shape. And remember, you can add wool and you can felt it down where it needs felting down. It might be a little bit wonky, but that's okay. It's an old truck, and gets kicked around by horses, or maybe your pigs are using it for their food. So it's not meant to be a pristine looking thing. But I think it would also look nice if you maybe used it as a needle felted flower pot. Maybe like a cauldron over a fire. You could make it in different colors. It opens up all kinds of possibilities for other vessels and containers that look like that, but maybe in different colors. Could be garden rubbish. Maybe you've got a little fairy garden. You can could be a plant pot for a tree. Could be a Christmas tree base. You can make one in red for Christmas. Oh, there's all kinds of things. I'm sure you will come up with amazing ideas what you could use your truck for. And that's basically the way that the truck is made. They will all be slightly different. There you go. All be different, but that's the fun of it. And it's always good when things turn out differently, because then the pressure is off that you have to be all the same. We don't need to be all the same. They can all be different. So there you go. That is the trucks completed. There. Which one did I just do? This one. And it's got 2 handles, so it can be carried around. And that's basically that one. So do share your trucks with us on Everyone a Maker, our Facebook group. Maybe you can showcast what you've put inside it, so that we can have a little look. And yeah, and I think our ponies will love eating out of that. I think it looks really nice with them together as well. Ponies can eat their food from there. Now I've got a few of the past live streams kicking around here. We've got the mug in the bug. No, the bug in the mug even. That was a live stream in May, and it's still available to watch. All of our live streams stay on YouTube, so you can rewatch them. We still got these wool, these needle felting packs as well. So you get the mug, and can't actually see the mug there. Get the mug, and you get all the ingredients to make the bug. You will have to use your own tools. There's another one hiding there. We've done a wet felted flower tutorial that still is on YouTube, and there is a wool mix that you can get to use, and all the bits and pieces that you need to make the flowers. Got a fish that's fallen over there. We made that last week to be part of the fish garland, which is hanging up behind me. You can see that too. And I thought I'd show you how to do some of these vegetables, which is the cue for Alicia to draw a winner for today's live stream, and it's also the cue for Hannah on Thursday when it's the Facebook replay, to draw a winner. And I will announce the one for today. If I could look into the future, I would announce the one for Thursday as well. But for the Thursday one, do stay tuned in and read in the comments, so you don't miss it, that you were a lucky winner of a starfish kit, which makes 2 starfish, has got all the tools in it. And we will post that out to you. If you are the lucky winner, you have to just drop us an email, and I'll talk about that in a minute when we know who the winner is. Let's get to making some carrots. We've also got a free tutorial on our website to do carrots. I've got a couple of colors here. With the carrots, I really love it when you mix the wool. So I'm just going to show you what you could be doing. So with a sort of that's really nice. That's our mountain sheep orange. It's amazing for. It's actually really, really carrot color. But you could mix a little bit of a darker. This is the red orange is sort of, it's a slightly darker color. I really like it when the wools are slightly variegated, so they have different colors running through it. You could even, if you wanted to, add a little bit of this into it, the Honey Karakul, because with vegetables and with flowers and all natural sort of plant trees and so on, they're never just one color, they're always different colors. So this is how you mix the colors together and get a slight variegation going. And then you need to make this into as flat a piece as you can, and there, and fold fold it in by one half. So I haven't folded it entirely, I've only folded in by half, so the end of that is there, and then you roll it up from the other side. So it's easier to do a tapered shape because you've got it fatter at one end, and then once you've rolled it in, it doesn't look fatter at the moment, but there's definitely less wool there. You need your felting needle and just secure it at one end there, and then just keep felting it all around. If you want things to be round, you have to keep turning them, and then you can work on that tapered end by just going all the way to the edge. Now, as with carrots, you don't know what shape, how fat and how wonky your vegetable will be, so just let it be what it wants to be. Use it as a practice of shaping, so to get the pointy bit, you just always felt right to the end, turn it round, felt right to the end, and keep going that way. And for the other end, just stab into it straight on, so that you make it round, and that way you're getting that end nice and fat and stumpy. So it's a good way to practice shaping, making a few carrots and getting different shapes going, just experimenting, because you can't really do much wrong. There we go. So we've just had a winner too, and it is Amanda A. So Amanda A, you have won yourself a starfish kit. This is on the live stream on Tuesday the 25th on YouTube. So please send us a line, drop us an email to info@themakers.co.uk. Remember, makers is spelled with 2 S's, and we will send the kit out to you, and that's the same for whoever is winning it on Thursday. So do drop us a line as well, and then we will post this out to you. Now, for the carrot top, I'm going to use the we've got these lovely Leicester curls, green Leicester curls. So I'm going to use them, but I'm just going to grab some because I didn't bring them. Well, they're here, but I didn't bring them to my desk. They're here somewhere. I will find them, don't you worry. There we are, there's some here. So that's perfect for making tops, and of course they can also be the darker curls if the vegetables have I don't know, have been sitting around for a while. And all you need to do is sort of have the ends going up and have a base that you can use to felt in, and just felt into the top of the carrot. Mind your fingers when you're doing that, and let some of this wool disappear, and just enough sticking up that looks sort of like the green of the carrot top leaves there. And then if you want to, you can add slight sort of like darker features onto the carrot. And to do this, you just need maybe sort of a dirtier looking wool. I've just grabbed a bit of dragon mix. That seems to be a good color. And you can just add a few stripes. When I say stripes, I don't mean don't make a candy stripes. It's not like that. It's just a few stripes onto the carrot randomly. It's like the grooves that might have collected a little bit of dirt, and therefore they look a bit darker. So keep them sort of random and not particularly in a pattern. They can be darker, they don't have to be so light, but this carrot is very clean, so you can see it just adds a little bit of it just breaks it up a little bit. I've done it more here, and then you can make different color carrots, and they fit perfectly into your freshly made truck there. Nice. You can make sort of maybe different colored carrots, or you can make some beetroots in a round shape, or some turnips. These are just a very similar carrot shape, but a bit fatter at the top, and then obviously using white. For these, I have used pink and mixed it with white wool. So it's a bit too much white, not enough pink. So you can use these and mix that and make a new colorway up that way too. So that's just a few ideas of how you can make some vegetables, some root vegetables to go in there. You could make potatoes, yeah, all kinds, sweet potatoes, normal potatoes, whatever you like, and then put them all in the truck. And then when your pony comes to stay at your house, it will be extra pleased that you've got all this food ready for it and ready to give to him. And that's basically how you make the truck and the vegetables to go in it. Remember to give us the thumbs up if you haven't done so yet. And remember to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that either yet, because that gives you the heads up when the next live streams are due. We have got them all planned out for June, so you can look on YouTube and you can see the materials that you need to have ready for those live streams as well. So I'm just going to have a little peek here. What did what what did the baby corn say to the mama corn? Where's popcorn? Oh, you are funny. On the gardening theme, says Alison, my father-in-law was planting a row of veg. When he got to the end, he turned to see my puppy had dug everyone up. Oh no! Well, this is, I probably have told this story before, but talking on the subject of growing veg, especially with children, I had this grandiose idea to grow vegetable with my children, which was probably the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life, because they were just everywhere and doing all the wrong things, including they saw me one day. To when I pulled, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody told me you have to take the flowers off the potato plants so that all the goodness goes into the potato and not into the flower. And they saw me pull all the flower heads off the potato plants, and they thought they were doing the right thing by pulling all the flower heads off the tomato plants, which I think I've let out such a loud no. It was you could hear it across the whole of the valley, and I think that seems to be my last memory of growing vegetables with them. I think I haven't done it since then. So there you go. Yeah, can't do everything, but at least they had a little insight of what not to do. Okay, I think that's have I said everything? Have I remembered everything? Just looking around, reminding myself. Bee pack. Yeah, remember you can get bee pack for the beehive and the bees. All the tutorials are still on the subscription boxes. Remember that you can join this new club. Club. No, it's not a new club. Well, you join a club anyway when you become a subscriber, but you can join the new group, the spoiler group for the surprise box. And I think I've covered everything. Oh yes, it's last few days for the Emerald Fairy as well. So if you like our lovely green Emerald Fairy, she is here. So I'm just going to grab her. I just didn't bring her to the desk. I always hold fairies by the head. One day I'm going to get told off for that. There's the Emerald Fairy. She's got really lovely long legs. She was sitting down then. She's holding an emerald, and I've seen some really lovely creative variations on her hair. But these are our little loopy locks that are needle felted onto. Makes perfect fairy hair. I absolutely love working with it. So there's definitely, I can tell you now, another fairy coming in August, which is the dragonfly fairy. But before that, it is the water fairy, which I'm going to show you on Tuesday next week, exactly in a week's time. So until then, take care, everybody. Hope you're staying safe and happy, and that you're doing all the things that you haven't been able to do and you enjoy doing again. So remember us here at the Makers. Give us ideas. There's a post going at the moment on Everyone a Maker that's inviting your views and giving us ideas of what you would like to see us doing next. That's still there as well. And until, oh yes, I've got one more thing to say. Remember that the countdown is now just under 4 weeks for the advent calendar. So these are limited numbers. They're always limited number. I'm telling you now, most people realize that we don't realize that we have been doing it, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I didn't get an advent calendar, and we are not packing more. We're packing them now, but once they're packed, we're not packing more. So put this date in your diary. You've got the chance to get yours as of the 25th of June, and then we post them out at the end of October. But you can pre-order this from the 25th of June, so you don't miss out. And I'm telling you now, there are nice things in there. Very nice things. I would want one. I might even have one. Who knows? So, and we haven't quite planned yet what we're doing around this, but we might be. Last year, Pam Duthie was doing an advent calendar every day. She was doing a little mini live stream. Hopefully, she'll do that again. But we'll try and support you with your advent calendars as well. There will also be another advent project coming up. Last year it was the McHoggies. This year it is a wall hanging, and it's called Animals in the Wood. It's going to be really nice. And we won't show you what it looks like at the end. It's a surprise. And every week you will add a little bit more to that scene that you're building up. And yeah, trust me, it's a nice one. I'm excited. And that's all I've got to say to you today. So take care, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and for being here with us through thick and thin. And hopefully we'll get a bit of sunshine, and then we can call this a summer as well. And I see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.